me?
Yeah.
I was born and raised in California.
Oh,
so
cool.
That's in America.
It's great. So, what were you interested in when you were little, when you were kids?
When I was younger, I
Yeah.
was really interested in actually books.
Oh, books?
I used to read a lot, and then the internet came out, and then I started playing a lot of games on my computer. So definitely when I was younger, a lot of books and games.
So, when did you started playing instruments or music?
Yeah, so my first time in a band, I was 14. So I started playing, actually my first band I was a vocalist, I was lead singer.
Oh, cool.
Because we needed a singer and nobody wanted to do it, so I volunteered. But after that, I figured out I'd rather play an instrument because I wasn't that good. So yeah, I started playing bass in my first band when I was 15.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What kind of music?
It was very, very emo.
Yeah?
So yeah, I still like emo music a lot, but at that time, it was very, very popular. This was like 2003, 2004.
Oh.
So all my friends liked emo music, so we had like the whiny singing, the yelling, all that stuff was very popular. So I would say like super, super emo band. My first
Great.
band. Yeah.
Great. Why did you started playing instruments things?
So yeah, growing up, my stepfather played in a band too.
Oh, cool.
So when I was young, I would always have to go to their band practice and watch them rehearse. I had to sit down and wait. So I was around it a lot.
Whoa.
So my stepdad was doing the same thing I'm doing now.
Yeah.
When he was like in his late 20s. So I think just being around music a lot made it easy for me to start a band or join a band when I joined high school.
Oh, that's cool.
When I just went to high school, I met a lot of new people and they liked music too.
Yeah.
So we all came together to make a band, and yeah, I think that was my big influence.
Oh, that's cool. It's kind of like came from blood.
Yeah, right.
So, what were you interested in between high school and college?
In high school, like I said earlier, music became my main focus. Also at that time, I was taking theater classes. So in college, in my
高校生の時とか、中学校高校生の時は何をしてましたか？
音楽。
音楽だったり、なんか興味があるもの。
興味があること。僕もマッシュと同じで結構ゲームが好きで、そうやっぱり僕もファイナルファンタジーとか、あと PC でなんか World of Warcraft とか、結構そうゲームしたりとか、あとさっき言ってた通り、音楽であったりスポーツであったりって感じですかね。あの時はあんまり勉強してなかったです。
じゃあ結構音楽が好きでライブ行ったりとかそういう感じをしてたんですか？
そうですね、ライブもちょろちょろ行ったりとか、なんかイタリアってそんなに海外からアーティストあんまり来ない場所なんですけど、でも来てた時は結構行ったりとかしてて、その時は結構電子音楽もやっぱりエレクトロニックは結構好きで、なんでクラブ行ったりとかはメインだったんですね、あの頃は。
なるほどな。じゃあなんか結構クラブから影響を受けてる感じですか？
そうですよね。やっぱりクラブあの頃はやっぱりドラムンベースとかダブステップが結構人気だったんですね。あの頃はイタリアで。なるほどな。
イタリアと日本はなんかイタリアと日本だと結構クラブの感じは違いますか？
どうかな。そんな変わらないかもしれないですけどね。やっぱり日本と同じくやっぱりメインストリームなクラブがあればもう少しアンダーグラウンドなシーンでがあって、どっちかといえばあの頃はイタリアやっぱりドラムンベースとダブステップがあまりメインなところに聞けなかったっていうか、レイブパーティーでやったりとかそういうかちっちゃいクラブでやったりとかだったんですけど、日本に来たら結構覚えてるんですけど、アトムのB1のところに行ったらなんかダブステップを流してて、マジあんなメインなクラブで流せるのみたいな、その時結構びっくりしたっていうか、ここはすごいなと思って、もうちょっとオープン的な感じって思ったんですね。
My younger years, I didn't really know what I was doing at for career, so I was playing in bands and also taking a lot of theater classes. So during that time, I did some plays, so some live theater, and also I did some background acting. I did that because I wanted to be on stage. Basically, just performing arts, what I was mostly doing. Slowly figuring out what my degree year was just a lot of music and doing acting. That was my main focus. I wanted to be a famous actor, but didn't work out. But
Still have time.
yeah, you know, TikTok.
That's cool. So, what was there any turning point in your life, or what led you become a musician? Why did you start music?
Yeah, I think music has always been my main hobby. I think it's easy for me to say it's a hobby now. I still have big dreams, but I've learned to like have fun with it and still take it very seriously. But I think music has always been my main focus. Anything outside of my job or working. Turning point though, I would say, you know, I was kind of doing or pursuing acting and music at the same time, but I found out I enjoyed music more. So I ended up putting more effort into music, like practicing my instrument more or working on my voice instead of working on acting techniques. So I would say that I decided probably mid-20s just to go all in with music.
Boy, that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of, you know, they say, you know, like it's like an ancient Chinese proverb. You chase 2 rabbits, you don't catch any, right? So you gotta focus on one or you don't get anything. So I decided to kind of leave acting to the side and just focus on music.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And what kind of music do you play?
Oh, right now with this guy, we play metalcore music. It's a lot of yelling and singing and a lot of head banging. And if you haven't heard metalcore music, check it out.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, a lot of energy. But yeah, I like all types. I was actually raised with a lot of like grunge when I was younger. As I said earlier, my stepdad was in a band, so a lot of the music I first heard was because of him, music he was playing. So a lot of my influences are from grunge, maybe a little bit of like new metal, a little bit. You know, anything like early 2000s was a big influence for me, like maybe Slipknot or like Incubus, Hoobastank, Papa Roach. All those bands are big influences for me. But generally speaking, I like emo, screamo, hardcore, metalcore, anything heavy I'm really into. So those are my main influences right now, and I just keep listening to new music to learn more. But yeah, it's kind of what I'm into right now.
Are there any like memorable music events?
Memorable music events.
Of course we do.
Yeah, well, with ASK.
Well, like some happen
With
in
ASK,
event.
I would say yes.
Yeah, I mean, one of my biggest memorable, if we want to talk about events, was playing with RID.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first big stage I played in Japan was with RID, and we played our every 3 months or every 4 months we throw a big event called Moshin Tokyo. It's great, and I got to play a really big stage with a lot of people. I've been in Japan for 3 years now, almost 4, but it was my dream to play a live show in Japan.
Well, great.
And that was really fun. Playing in like in a Japanese venue and Japanese audience, it was a really different experience. But definitely memorable for me recently, yeah.
Is there like any difference between like Japan and California?
I think I like playing live shows in Japan. It's a little bit more expensive. And being in a band in Japan is a lot more expensive in general because, for example, in California, like I said, there's big backyards that throw these like house parties.
Yeah.
Usually you would rehearse in a garage at someone's house, but in Japan, obviously the houses are smaller.
Yeah.
So
Like,
I think being a musician in Japan compared to California, it's more expensive. You have to pay for rehearsal time. But I think overall the live show experience is better. Like it's a lot more professional and it sounds better, but you have to pay more. So that's what I think.
it's great. Is there anything you think about or pay attention to when you're playing music?
As a performer, I pay attention to the audience in particular. I want to make sure they're having a good time. As songwriters, you know, we want to make music that people like. So when I'm performing, I'm really in my own head having a good time, but I like seeing the audience react too because I want them to have a good time and maybe forget about what they're, you know, doing in that moment and just experiencing the music and having a good time. So I like to see if people are enjoying what I'm doing and what my bandmates are doing on stage. And that's very important because I think music should be something that lets you escape from reality and just enjoy the moment, right? So that's what I look for when I'm playing.
And I feel like making theater. Things.
Yeah. Getting everyone together, you know, with our music, there's a lot of like We call it moshing, like, you know, pushing each other,
Mm.
people running around, swinging their arms, everyone's together.
Yeah. That's really excited.
We get a lot of people yelling our lyrics, you know, get everyone involved, so.
What kind of music activities are you guys doing now?
Okay. So I think the band this year, correct me Matthew if I'm wrong, is pretty busy, right?
Yeah.
So we have a lot of things ongoing. We just released, for example, a new single a couple of weeks ago called Let Phantoms. So you can find it on all platforms, Spotify. So go to check it out. It's kind of for us the beginning of the year since we got like a new team production also supporting us with mixing and things that maybe internally we weren't let's say before we always had this doing by people that were in the band before, but now those producers are not in the band anymore, so we decided to network, getting collaboration from people we have in Italy, from my old network and people we network here in Japan, so some Japanese and Italian producers. We have another new song that will come out, we still didn't announce, so it's gonna come out probably beginning of May, and shoot also a new music video. Which that's pretty interesting because we really also like the fact of involving the pole dance community in our music. So we like pole dance. I mean, who doesn't like, you know, metal, beautiful girls, right? So we love pole dance. That's another like forms of art, forms of dance. And we decided to incorporate that in our next music video. So this next music video gonna be out on May. It's gonna be a lot about pole dancing, like a little bit of sexy moment, a little bit of a harsh moment. The song is called Poison Love.
Cool.
So we have this music video coming on. A lot of other songs actually to be coming on as well that we're already finishing and just polishing now to mix and mastering. And that will culminate a lot in June, where we're gonna have our own event that Matthew mentioned called Moshin Tokyo. So it's gonna be in Shibuya, the game.
Cool.
We'll have all the venue for our event. So there's gonna be pole dancers, DJs, bands, or, you know, Japanese, foreigners. So we really believe into having, you know, an international community in that.
Yeah.
And that's how we're gonna do pretty much let's say the half of the year. I don't want to spoil you the rest of the year, but it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, we are busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really great.
Yeah.
Okay, so last question that what do you want to do in the future?
As a band,
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a band.
yeah, definitely. You know, I mean, Matthew also mentioned, but still, you know, we have big dreams in music. Of course, we have our responsibilities out of music, right? We all have our families, we have our job, but still, we're aiming to get as much as we can out of this music experience. We would love to play in big venues here in Japan. We would love to play in big festivals here in Japan and also abroad. So we're also aiming to do like a tour potentially in Asia. It would be, I think, amazing for us also to do tours in our own countries, right? Doing a tour in the US, in California, doing a tour back in Europe and Italy. So we have a lot of plans for the band. So Skoshizutsu, step by step.
Yeah.
But we're building that.
Wow, that's great. So I'm really excited that like watching you guys show. So,
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
You're more than invited to our next one. Yes.
Thank you. So thank you for coming today.
Yeah.
Today's guest, bassist Matthew, and vocalist Reid. Thank you for coming today.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Catch you guys later.